Hi everyone, so in today's video I have another card project for you made using the Expressions in Ink Designer Series paper. Now granted, today's card only has a small piece of Designer Series paper, but it's still being used nevertheless. If you've not seen this paper, it's absolutely beautiful. I have done 2 previous videos in this little mini series where I'm trying to incorporate Designer Series paper into my card making, so go back and have a look at those. If I remember, I will put a information card at the top of the screen to my Stampin' Up playlist, and then you should be able to find them in there. But very quickly I'll just show you. So this paper, you get 2 sheets, it's 12 by 12 of all the designs. One side has got gold running through it in some form or other, and then the other side are like the flat colours. So this one, for instance, has got the pale papaya and the green, and it's got the gold through it, and the other side is like shades of green. This one is kind of like a water effect, or an oil on water effect, and it's got the gold running through it, and then the other side's the flat colour. Then you've got this one, this is the flat colours sides. It's very similar to this but in different colorways, and then the other side is all dark greens and golds. And then you've got this one I think I used in the first card I made in this series. This has got all the gold running through it, and then again shades of green. It's beautiful. And then the one I'm using today, I used a piece of this side in my last card, but on the other side of it, it's the gold and white stripes, and I'm going to be using a small piece of that today. I'm also going to be using the artistically inked stamp set, which is all part of this suite. You can buy the items individually, and I'm going to be using the hello as the greeting. And then one other thing I'm going to be using, this is the Pierced Blooms dies. I've done videos again on my channel using this, and they will be in the Stampin' Up playlist. And there are this flower here and this flower here, just kind of reminded me a little bit of a daisy. I know they've not got as many petals as a daisy would have, but these are the 2 that I'm going to use today. And these here I'm going to use those in the middle of the flowers. I'm also going to be using some of the gold and rose gold 6x6 metallic speciality paper. Again, I used a piece of this in one of the previous videos in this series, and I'm not sure how well you'll see this on the camera, but it has got like a glittery kind of shine. It's not glitter, but it has got that kind of sheen to it. It's flat, it's smooth, it's one-sided, it's white on the other. So I'm going to be using that, and the other colour is rose gold that's in the pack. There will be direct links underneath the YouTube video and in the accompanying blog post to all these products where you can purchase them in my online Stampin' Up shop. So to save a bit of time, I've cut all the components ready. So this is a piece of Daffodil Delight. This is a piece of half A4 cardstock, which I've cut in half, which will then give me 2 card bases. I've scored and folded it. I have a piece of Whisper White that's going to layer on the front. This is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Then I've cut another piece of Daffodil Delight, and this is 3 inches by 4 inches. A piece of the Designer Series paper, as I say, that's the side I used in my last card. I'm going to be using the gold and white stripes this time. And this one has been cut a 1/4 inch smaller than this. So this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then from the In Bloom die set, there's this label, stitch label, which is lovely. So I've cut that in Daffodil Delight. I've cut the 2 flowers that I mentioned earlier in basic white cardstock. I've cut the leaf also from the In Bloom die set from the metallic gold card. I've also cut a smaller leaf. There's different size leaves in this set, and I've got the 2 little yellow die cuts which I'm going to use as the centres, and I've got a scrap of white card to stamp my greeting. So I've already mounted the hello on a block, although it's not particularly straight, so I'm just going to do that again. And I've got So Saffron ink. Now I know this is Daffodil Delight and this is a slightly different shade, but I think it will work. So I'm going to ink up the stamp, just stamp off on my scrap paper just to make sure it's looking okay, and then stamp my greeting and just put that on one side to dry, because I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to cut it down, but I'm not exactly sure yet what I'm going to do with it until I start to assemble the card. Just going to bring in my Simply Chamois and just clean off the stamp, and then it's ready to be put away or used again if I want to. So I'm going to start layering up the card pieces first. So this is going to sit on the front of my card like so. This piece is going to go on here. This is going to sit on the front of the card, and I think I'll put this one centrally. In the last video I did one where it was kind of off center, but I think I'm going to do this one centrally, and I think I'll stick this down flat. I could have cut another piece of designer series paper, but for this one I wanted to keep it fairly simple. So I'm going to position this one kind of fairly centrally. And then this is going to go on here with the greeting on it, and then I'm going to position the flowers. So I'm just going to kind of put them in place where I think they might look okay, and then I'll stick them down. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the centres in the flowers. I'll just use a little bit of the wet glue for this. Just a little dab of wet glue just in the middle. And use my Take Your Pick tool just to help me pick these up and position them. Then this I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. So I'm using various of our adhesives, but that's the beauty of Stampin' Up. You know, we do have all different types of adhesive that you can use for your different projects. So I'm going to put this one, I think, just kind of off to the side so it overlaps the white card a bit. And then this one I'm thinking I might put here, and then I'll overlap it with the flowers. So I'm going to cut this one down. I'm just going to bring in my little guillotine for this. This isn't available to purchase anymore. I think it was a demonstrator only item from memory. But you know, you can use your paper trimmer. It doesn't really matter. This is just to hand for me at the moment. This one I think I'll stick flat, and I'll pop it towards the edge of the yellow label, but you'll still be able to see the stitching. And then it's a case of layering up my flowers. So I'm going to pop this one on a dimensional and just have it overlapping the edge of the label. This one I'm going to put on dimensionals as well. And I'm going to just kind of position that one on the label. And then I've got the leaves that I can tuck in, and I think I might stick the leaves flat. I'm just going to pop that in there, just hold it down for a second or two. And then this one I might have like this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom and a little bit on the middle leaves, and then just tuck that under So this one's not stuck down, it's still got a little bit of movement. And then I think I will add a little bit of bling. So I'll bring in some of our basic rhinestone jewels, and I'll use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool. And when you wind this up tight, the little putty end starts to come out, and then you just release it to stop it. And then I'll just, I think, scatter three of these. Then I've got another piece of Whisper White at 3 5/8 by 5 7/8, which is going to go on the inside of the card. Now you could write on the inside of the card with this being yellow, it's not too dark, but I think I will just add a piece inside. And then just to tie this all together, I've got the In Bloom stamp set, which goes with the dies, and there's this kind of daisy-like flower. So I'm just going to use that. And my So Saffron ink. I'll just stamp it off on my paper to see what it's like. And then I'm going to do like a second generation stamping. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off on scrap, and then just stamp it up so it's a lighter shade down in the bottom corner. And then again, just apply some adhesive and just pop that inside. So there's another simple card idea made using designer series paper and, you know, some die cuts. So you've got the decoration on the front, just says hello. When you open it, on the inside you've got somewhere to write. You could add another greeting if you want, and then just a little bit of the daisy flower in the bottom to just kind of try and tie it in together. So I hope you like that idea. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.